It's Hack Yeah. We're breaking the mold. Code breakers here dropping gems of gold. From boardroom plays to cubicle hacks, we crack the code so you don't fall flat.
And I'm the Pathfinder, clearing the way, helping you rise up every work day. From first jobs to next level tracks, we teach what works, no fluff, just facts. Hack what, hack yeah.
All right. Hackster, welcome back to Hack Yeah, the show where we turn micro habits into macro changes. Wow, that's a different one today. I'm Gary Camp, your code breaker.
And I'm Kim, your Pathfinder, and today, we're unlocking one of the juiciest cheat codes in both money and career, compounding.
Yes, and we are not just talking about spreadsheets today, or interest rate, or investment. We're talking about how tiny, consistent actions over time can create ripple in your life.
Ooh, think of it as building wealth and worth in your bank account, your skills, and in your relationships.
Yep, and to help us to unpack this awesome topic today, we have got someone that I love dearly. He lived and breathed the compound mindset. He's an MBA. He is a sourcing leader, or director, or VP,
Director.
My personal finance whisperer, and honestly, one of the sharpest mind I ever met in my life, Andrew Stapper.
Hey, well,
Woo! Welcome, Andrew!
thanks for having me. Super excited to be here with my two friends talking about a subject that we love, and hopefully it's valuable and interesting for you guys.
All right, I'm sure it will be. We love starting with the real stuff. So, Andrew, was there ever a money move that you regretted?
You mean this week, Kim? Yes, definitely, 100%. I'd say kind of the biggest one that I've regretted is I used to sell my winners way too early. In finance or in investing, there's that old maxim, you never go broke taking a profit. And I actually believed that for a time.
And you're talking like stocks,
Stocks,
Okay.
investments. Yes,
All right.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely investments. So, like when it comes to like Amazon, Apple, Costco, I thought I was locking in a profit and gonna take that money and invest in something else, but I was not seeing the bigger picture.
Been there.
Yep. That's it, man. So much focus going into buying, but what about holding, right?
Yes. Oh, 100%. When I was younger, that was what I was spending all my time doing, was researching companies to buy. Companies that I thought were going to grow bigger and compound. But I didn't spend any time on the strategy of when to sell, how to hold the businesses, how to keep me invested for the long term.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just like in the corporate world, right? So we pour energy into launching the next big initiative, but forget to plan how we'll sustain it. So we celebrate the kickoff, but without a clear long-term plan, those early wins fade fast.
That's right.
And investing strategy isn't just about knowing when to walk away. It's also about how to keep something thriving once it's in motion. So what about the most expensive lesson you learned?
Yeah. Well, really what I was doing, a very expensive lesson was I would cut my flowers and water my weeds. So what I mean by that
Nice, love
That's a
it.
good analogy.
was I would sell those winners, that I would lock in that profit, and then I would double down on my losers because I had that same amount of conviction across all my investments. So I thought, well, I take this profit, invest in a company that's down 20, 30%. I'm buying it that much cheaper, and then I'm going to compound that growth even faster. And it worked out sometimes. But really what I learned through that process is I should have just stuck with the great businesses and let those losing businesses fade away.
That's a very great lesson for our Hackster, Andrew, in business and career too. So too often we spend our time trying to fix our weakness instead of our strength, right? But just like in investing, you get more traction by doubling down on your strength, play your strength card, put your time, energy, and resource into the things that are already working and deliver values for you. That's where the real compounding happens. And what do you see others get wrong about money, Andrew?
Other people. So the one mistake that I kind of see others making is they want to get invested because they want to enjoy some of those upside and those great growth companies that you see out there. But I see people investing while also holding short-term debt. So, right, if you're doing a great job in your investments, you're making about 10% annually. Probably actually even a little less than that. But while you're holding that short-term debt, that's 20+%, right? So to me, it makes a lot more sense to pay down that short-term debt, count that as your gains, and then once you get that under control and under wraps, then take your extra money and invest.
Great. We should have said beforehand, and I think you saw that we should have had a disclaimer up front. But we are not financial advisors. We are not professionals, so do not take this as your own financial advice. If you're looking to invest in the stock market and you need a financial advisor, we're saying these are our opinions here.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay, so everything you said is so true. Agree with it. So that translates into the office too. We chase shiny projects while ignoring messy workflows and unresolved process debt. Oh, clean that up first and then grow. A Hack Yea hack in money and in work. Strengthen your foundation before you scale. Eliminate high interest debt and high friction processes so every next step builds real lasting momentum.
Amen to that. Let's shift gears a little bit now. Let's talk about career hacks that compounds. So I know that me and you work a long time together at LK, but you work longer than me. So you're at LK for 10 years. I've been 9.5 or something. And that's no joke. 10 years is a long time. So what was some small move that paid off way bigger than expected?
Honestly, for me, it was really just joining LK. When I joined LK, they were still kind of coming out of that 2008 financial crisis that really kind of hurt the business. But there were a lot of signs for growth, right? They had the bottle filler, they had the perfect drain sink, they had a very strong culture, and that environment created a real opportunity, not only for me, but I think for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So growth plus culture equals rocket fuel. So it's like strapping a high-powered engine to a well-built car. Ooh. I think Barry came up with that, didn't he? The speed comes from both the machine and the fuel, guys. A strong culture creates trust and momentum. Momentum, you hear that word a lot in investing. So growth provides the runway to take off.
Yeah. And any geeky scripts that you hear, Hackster on the part is probably coming from me. but that's such an important point, Kim, because when a company's vision and culture are aligned, it's like compounding on a bigger playing field. The business compounds, more products, more customer, more trust in the brand. But the people inside can compound too because of that, right? And they gain skills, take on new challenges, opportunity, and grow faster because the environment pull them forward instead of holding them back. So which brings me to this point now. What about mentorship, Andrew? I know that you mentor people. I mean, you indirectly mentor me too. Ever help someone compound their own growth?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a chance to work with a few great people who've really gone on to do some great things, and hopefully some of those people are listening today, especially you, Eric. But I just try to provide value where I can, share insights, remove roadblocks. But it's the mentees' effort, if I'm using the right word there, to really drive and make those things happen. I equate it kind of to gardening, right?
I love that.
Water, provide food, remove the weeds, protect from some pests, but it's really the plant that's doing all the work.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. That's so true. So a great mentor lights the path, right? But the mentee still has to walk it. You still have to walk it, and you have to keep walking.
Yep, and I can say that from my personal experience. Like I mentioned earlier, Andrew's been like an unofficial mentor, like no way on that, for investing for my life. And you do know that. I ask you all the time for questions.
I'm just glad somebody will listen. So.
Yeah. but it works. So he's the one who really shine a light on my investment plan, path and plans. Give me the clarity and confidence to see where I could go, right? But I still had to walk that path myself. But over time, I was able to build a stronger portfolio and even compound what I learned by teaching others, including my kids, like my son here and my daughter too, which, come to this point, we forgot to talk about the monkey. So you saw this monkey here on my table. I mean, you're like, okay, what's a monkey? Like, so my daughter actually made this for me.
That's so cute.
I am the monkey.
She made that?
Yeah, on the Chinese zodiac, I'm the monkey, right? So she made this for me for my birthday last year, and but the story behind the monkey is she started crocheting when she was like, I don't know, like 5 years ago, but she was doing the little crochet, like just t-shirts or whatever, so very basic stuff. And then she started to learn new, I think stitch, I don't know, like what did it, like other new technique, and she slowly come to the point that she can actually make things like this.
That is cute.
To me, that skills compounding that she learned, I don't know, did I actually impacted her? I hope I did, but she compounded in her skills, and she's able to make things like this now.
That is impressive.
That is impressive.
So kind of like from that angle, right? It's passing on the torch, and the frame start with like the guiding principle that Andrew gave me. And speaking of where you put your time and energy, Andrew, how do you choose where to spend it at work?
At work, so I think about it kind of like investing, right? So I'm looking for the greatest return for the effort.
Yeah.
I look for areas with real growth potential. And as you guys both know, I love spotting low-hanging fruit. Like that is that's a passion of mine, where you can unlock like outsized results for doing something simple. And I think an example of this is we all did this during like the first moments of COVID. If you remember, our team worked quickly with the supply base to extend payment terms, and it was like a simple, immediate action that we did that really had ripple effects through the whole business.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
And it's like great low-hanging fruit like that it's fun.
Yeah, such a great point, Andrew. And this guy is full of ideas, right? He's the idea man. If I ever wanted an idea, maybe if I had listened to you and invested, I still have that 20 grand in my pocket that I lost in the past couple months. All right, so I think we underestimate how those micro innovations, those little low-hanging fruits can actually build momentum over time. So Hack Yea Hack. It's like compounding interest, but in your career. Each small win stacks on the next. And before you know it, you've made a huge leap forward without a massive investment of time or resources.
Yeah. So now that we talk about the gain and stuff, let's talk about the dark side of the math, the subtraction, which is interesting because sometimes the biggest growth comes from what we stop doing in our life, right? Or in other words, what one's belief that or habits you had to stop for it to grow in your life, Andrew?
Yeah, so it's really about stop selling those great businesses, right? And this is something that I shared with you previously. But now what I do is when a stock doubles, I'll sell half, so I take my principal back, and then I just let the gains ride. It's helped me out tremendously from a mental standpoint. That I've taken those principles out and I just let the stock compound without ever second guessing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's like playing with house money when you get to that point, and it remove a lot of the emotion pressure, like you said, from investing. It was one of the biggest hacks that you actually have taught me, Andrew, and I taught my son too. And he actually got some wins recently too. I used my learn, do, teach method.
Great to hear.
That I learned, that I apply in my life to investing hack, right? So I do it in my portfolio, right? I learned it from you. I do it in my portfolio, and then I pass it on to others, like my son. And how compounding works in both money and knowledge.
100%, Gary. That's right. Investing is not just math, right? Yes, you need to do the discounted cash flows and understand what you're buying, but a lot of it is mental, right? And this strategy has helped me hold great businesses like Facebook through really rough patches. Remember when Facebook dropped about 80% because they spent all that money on the metaverse? I was just playing with house money, and so I just let it roll. And so 80% down, and then, now
160%.
Back up big time.
So, it helps out a ton mentally.
Yep. So that's just like in the office. Sometimes the smartest move isn't piling on more projects, but protecting and nurturing the winners you already have.
Yes.
So think about it like this. You invest time to automate a manual process. That's right up Gary's line, automation.
Yep.
Once it's automated, you've taken your your time back. And now that process keeps delivering value without extra effort. That freed up time can then be reinvested into other high impact work. And before we move on, just a second, something came to me, and we don't have this as a hack, but you were talking about the mental aspect of investing.
Yes.
And I just had one of my investing mentors talk about what you have to do first when you're investing is get your mind right. Right? So he's a Christian. He does praying, and he has like music playing in the background to settle him, because the market itself has such highs and lows that you have to try to be consistent through that flow and maintain your calm. And it's almost like in a workplace where you may we talked about this with Arthi, where you may get excited, really excited, and take things personally. Bring it back, calm yourself, and try to be level set about things and not take it so personal.
That is something I learned from you very early on. I would we'd be in meetings, and somebody would say something about the supply chain or the supplier, and I internally would take it personally, but then your calmness in the meeting room and how you'd approach it very tactfully was something I've learned from you many years ago, Kim.
She's our king. So, so let's bring up to that point now. So Andrew, how do you keep your system sustainable and not overwhelm your system?
It's really just keep it simple, right? Try to save consistently, invest in strong companies, let them do the heavy lifting and the compounding, and then what I also try to do is not trade in and out. So you avoid unnecessary taxes. The short-term capital gains are taxed at a much higher rate than long-term capital gains. So it's buy those companies and hold them for a long period of time.
Very good point. So in the corporate world, it's the same. It's always noise, new tools, setting goals, surprise crisis. But the real compounders, the focus on the highest leverage habits and stick with them. Those are the highest compounders. So sometimes doing less, but doing it better creates the biggest breakthrough. So Andrew, that's a perfect setup to close out part 1 with Hack Yea hacks. We talk a lot already. We're going to cut this thing short to the second part. Focus on simplicity, because simplicity compounds in money and at works. Protect your winners and let momentum do the heavy lifting.
And real key, really, it's around the mindset. It doesn't just grow your money, it'll change your life.
It changed my life, for sure.
All right, so thank you for dropping so much wisdom, Andrew. We're coming back for part 2 already. Hacksters, we've covered money mistakes, career compounding, and even the power of subtraction. But Andrew's not done yet, right? In part 2, we're diving into a deeper philosophy of wealth and worth, beyond dollars and cents, and the 5-minute habits that can literally change your life.
Oh yeah. So make sure you subscribe, because you don't want to miss the next episode. So big thanks as always to Dominic's and keeping us just sounding sharp, and Aiden for keeping us running smooth behind the scene.
And don't forget, join our Hack Yea, LinkedIn, and our Facebook community now to share your wins, swap hacks, and keep compounding your own journey. And with that, we'll all say,
Hack Yea!
It's Hack Yea. We're breaking the mold. Code breakers here, dropping gems of gold. From boardroom plays to cubicle hacks, we crack the code so you don't fall flat.
And I'm the Pathfinder, clearing the way, helping you rise up every work day. From first jobs to next level tracks, we teach what works, no fluff, just facts.